Hello guys, this is me Asan, your art mentor. In this video I am going to tell you about levels in landscape and how to set up a composition while drawing any landscape. So one by one I am going to elaborate to describe about landscape, how to divide the landscape. So I have made a frame, so I am dividing this frame in different three parts, in three different fields, in three different grounds. The front is foreground, midground and background. In landscape it is very necessary to divide your frame into grounds. So on the first comes the foreground, the midground and background. Have you always seen in movies, in videos, in animated frames, backgrounds, there is always they set up foreground, the midground and background. There is something is happening in, always something is happening in background. It rather be a buildings, mountains, desert, anything. So this thing describe its whole scenario. So in this regard I am going to tell you about how to divide your frame while designing, while making any background for any of your projects. It rather be a animated movie, it's rather maybe a storybook. So you need to divide your frame into different three parts. So here I have drawn a stone and few grass elements, few patches of grass in foreground, which is near to camera, you can say a camera, or near to the viewer. I am drawing this from my imagination. So you can take any photo, or you can also try from your imagination while designing any concept or any background. And in midground I have drawn mountains, and in background I have also drawn a mountain with sky and clouds. So you can divide your frame in this way. You can draw anything in background, in midground and in foreground. You have to divide your frame in different parts, in different three parts. In background you can draw trees, people, or in foreground you can show the characters, and in background you can show the buildings, the landscape, the environment of the concept. So this all describe the environment of the concept while dividing your frame into three different parts. So here it is. Now I am rendering it with straight line etching. So in background I have drawn it little in lighter tones, and I have drawn the front yard with darker tone, and respectively midground with little bit darker tones. So the viewer can see the comparison of the tones of the foreground, midground and background. So in this way you can try any of your setting up levels and composition while designing any frame for your concept or for your video animated movies. And now I am further describing it to elaborate further about landscape. how to divide your frame. You can put the lines with the help of scale, so I am roughly designing it for a quick overview of telling you about the landscape. You can draw the frame with the help of scale ruler to draw straight lines. This is just a rough quick elaboration for to understand the basic of frame. How to draw frame. Just you can also draw with digital medium. In digital you can also draw in Photoshop etc with the help of rectangular boxes. So in these further frames I am going to tell you about the levels of background, how we divide, how we can show the close-up of any frame, any background, any landscape. This is the I am drawing from my imagination to show a little bit close-up of any frame, how we can divide a frame to show its close-up, its midway and far away. So in further frames, as I am going to draw the further frames, you will understand how I am dividing the frames into different parts to tell you how to create these frames. So here I have drawn this from my imagination, a simple landscape with a boat in the river, and there is a house, a hut in the midway, and in background there is we can also see few houses with chimney of smoke. In this way you can draw anything while dividing your frame into levels. I am just rendering it with simple line etching and also showing few mountains in background. So in this way you can also draw your own frames. And now I am going to draw the mid away, a little bit closer to the frame or a little bit outer of the frame. I am going further from the frame. As in close-up, I have shown these a little bit close to a viewer, to a camera, and now I am going a little bit back from the camera or from the frame. So further things will appear in the frame as I go away from a little bit, a few steps from the frame. So a lot of things will come in the frame. So in this way you can learn from any landscape. While drawing any landscape, you need to notice its levels, how it is divided into levels. So keep in your mind about the levels of background. What are you focusing in any frame? You can focus just one stone or just a tree or just the whole scenery. From what are you composing in that frame? A tree, a shrub, a stone, a waterfall, whatever you see, you need to frame. Take a you can also do a little bit take a paper to cut it in a frame. You have to put this frame in front of yourself and see what are coming in this frame. So then start drawing those things which are coming in your frame. So this is a little bit midway from the scene, as the house is now obvious, it is a little bit further from the frame, and ship is looking a little bit small from the previous one. As I told you, it is a little bit a few steps back from the close-up frame. You can also divide your frames in this way. It is just basic understanding about framing any of your scenarios in landscape. Whenever you go into jungle, into parks, or in a vast landscape, so you need to frame while putting your camera or taking image. See how which things are coming in the frame. So this was the midway, and in further this video I am drawing it's far away a little bit. It is more far from the close up, from the main image, from the main camera frame. So in this way you can make frames. You can draw these lines with the help of ruler, scale, anything. And this frame is about a little bit far away. I am showing the far away. Same frame is a little more bit further to show how camera is going back, or how our vision is going back, and things are looking a little bit small. Things will come to little bit small as we go a little bit far from our actual frame. As in the first frame the art was a little bit big, and in the midway a little more bit it was a further, and it was looking a little bit small, and in this frame it will looks more small as we are going far away from actual vision. So other things will appear in the frame, and in this way we can capture what we see in our frame. We will capture and draw these things. In this way it is very easy to, while drawing any landscape, you need to divide it in levels, so it will become easier for you to draw a landscape drawing, a painting, or a concept art. In this way you can achieve your drawing. Hope you guys learned from this video how to compose the landscape, how to compose its level and its composition. This will be easier for you while dividing any of your frame in your landscape drawing.